Hello, parents and students. My name is Mr. Smith. And parents, if you're receiving the link to this video through an email directly from me, that means we're going to be working together in the 2019-2020 school year when your child is in fourth grade. Now, I know we're just finishing up the 2018-19 school year and your child's currently in third grade, but we're doing something really unique this year at Westside called Moving Up Day. And on Moving Up Day, your child is going to have a chance on June 7th to come into the classroom, into my classroom, have a chance to meet me, see what our classroom for next year in fourth grade looks like, talk a little about fourth grade, and just simply have some fun. I love the idea of it because one, it begins that relationship between student and teacher, and two, it actually reduces some of the anxiety that kids feel at the end of the school year going into the following school year. So you should have received the link to this video on June 6th. Also on June 6th, your child should be receiving an envelope. Inside that envelope is information stating that he or she is going to be in my classroom for fourth grade next year. Also, I put a letter from my current students, some of my current students, into your child's envelope so they have a chance to see what a current student's perspective is in my classroom. So be looking for that, please, in your child's homework folder if you haven't already. Many teachers are also putting a letter in there, and so instead of doing that, I'm doing this video. So the purpose of this video essentially is to share a little bit about myself, give you a sneak peek of our classroom, which I'll do so in just a moment, as well as give you some other information that is certainly important for fourth grade. So just real quickly about me, I'm finishing up my 21st year at Westside, 22 years total in education. During that time, I've had a chance to teach kindergarten, first grade, fourth grade, fifth grade. I've coached middle school basketball, 6th and 7th grade, and I've also taught at the university level. So I've had quite a variety of experiences with kids in a variety of ways, and I'm looking forward to getting back to fourth grade next year. Also, just certainly want to share with you a little bit about the fact that math, science, technology are really my passions, and I love teaching those areas. And then this last year, I worked a little bit more on writing, and so I'm going to continue some of that momentum with the writing that I've learned in terms of how to teach kids. So looking forward to that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a little sneak peek of the classroom at this time, and then I'll come back and I'll finish up with some good information to finish up this video. I'm going to give you a peek into our classroom here, and you're going to notice that there are no desks. We do have a lot of flexible seating, which I'll share with you here in just a moment. Since we don't have desks, we have these bins where kids will have their supplies, and we'll organize those on the first day of school. So back to flexible seating. The idea behind flexible seating, there's several reasons. One, I believe that kids should have the opportunity to choose where they're going to sit. And yes, sometimes they do sit next to their friends and they make some not so good choices, and then they have opportunity to learn from that. So they're learning more than just the curriculum that day. They should also have the opportunity to burn more energy, and that's what a lot of this flexible seating allows them to do. We have quite a lot of different ways that kids can use their big muscles and burn some of that energy while they're here in the classroom. Plus, they do sit here for a good portion of time, and I want them to be comfortable. That's an important part of our day as well. Over here, we have a kind of a big rug that we're going to use for some small group work. In addition to that, I want to share with you that this classroom has a class set of Chromebooks. So this is a one-to-one classroom when it comes to Chromebooks. They will have a Chromebook that is assigned to them, and they will use all different types of technologies: email, Google Drive, Schoology, and so forth. So I'm going to continue to give a little tour of the classroom here as I go. We have lots of different areas that are exciting for kids to use. And so one of the new additions this last year, or this summer I should say, is what I'm calling our breakfast bar. This is an area where kids can work during the day. If they want to bring some donuts in for their teacher, that would be awesome. One of the other things is that we have a calming corner, and our calming corner this year kind of has a backyard theme to it. You can see the artificial turf. We have some natural types of materials back here. Sand is very therapeutic. This is in an area where kids can go to learn about self-regulation. Mrs. Everson comes in, does several guidance lessons on self-regulation. It's if kids are feeling frustrated, if they are feeling low and tired and those sorts of things, they can come back here for about 5 minutes. They're still in the classroom. They're still listening to the things that are going on, but they're having opportunity to kind of recharge their batteries for about 5 minutes. So that was a tour of our classroom. Just so you know, the first couple weeks of school, kids will have assigned spots so they have a chance to rotate through all of our flexible seating options. When we get to about the third week of school, kids will have a chance then to start choosing where they sit for the day. I see them about 5 minutes already into this video, and I do need to take a couple more minutes of your time to talk about some important things in fourth grade. We will have that classroom set of touchscreen Chromebooks. Your child will be assigned one Chromebook. Those Chromebooks stay at school. So that's unlike the middle school where they go home, or possibly the high school as well where they come home. So these will stay here at school, and we'll use a variety of tools with those, and we'll talk more about that in time as well. You can see we have a student teacher up there. Miss Hadler will be coming in November. I've already had a chance to meet with her and am impressed with her knowledge and eagerness to get into our classroom. The next few things here to talk about: classroom Facebook page. This last year I created a classroom Facebook page. It's a closed group page, meaning that only people who are approved through me can actually be on there. And it was a great way to communicate with home. I could share posts of things that we're doing in the classroom, video, pictures, announcements, guest speakers, homework. And so if you have a Facebook account, we'll talk more about that on orientation day and get you signed up for that. And like I said, I thought it was a really good way to communicate with home. I had some really good feedback from parents this last year about it. A couple other things before we finish off this video. One is the orientation day conferences. This last year what I did is I did orientation day just a little bit differently. So instead of having the two big groups of parents come, I had parents sign up for a 20-minute slot, and we had more of a parent-teacher-student conference style of a orientation day, and I'm going to have that come up on the board here. This isn't set in stone, but I'm hoping that I can do this again this year. Otherwise, we'll just go back to the traditional two groups of large groups of parents. And what I like to do during that one-on-one time with parents is have that 15 minutes worth just to simply talk about your child and their experience in school, things that you have concerns about, their strengths and so forth, and then give you about 5 minutes to work on the paperwork, and then I do a quick little activity with each child. And so our orientation day will be on September 3rd. I know that's a few months away, but just wanted to give you the heads up for that. In August, I'll send you an email specifying how exactly we are going to do that. And if we are going to do the parent-teacher conference style, there'll be a sign-up link in there for you to sign up on. And I'll certainly send you a link to a presentation that I'll be doing as well. The very last thing that I want to share with you is about homework. And I do homework just a little bit differently, specifically when it comes to math. What I like to use something called Edpuzzle. And Edpuzzle is a really cool tool where I can record videos and then I can have kids watch them and they can answer quiz questions and so forth. Well, anyway, with math specifically, how I do this is I have math as an Edpuzzle video as the preview for what we're going to do the next day in math. It's almost like a movie trailer, where you see the movie trailer at home for about 2 or 3 minutes, and then of course you have to actually go to the movie to see the movie the next day or whenever. Same thing with math, as I'm going to give them a preview of what we're going to be working on the next day. There's typically quiz questions, or there's their home link to do, and then they bring that home link to school, and then we actually go through the entire lesson the next day. I found this relieves some pressure on kids and parents for homework. It allows them to make some mistakes, to learn part of what we're doing and just focus on the main part, and then we finish it up the next day. So again, we'll talk more about that at orientation day, but just wanted to give you some info on that. If you have internet access at home, I'll be asking you about that so your child can actually do the math homework, the videos that is. But if they don't, no big deal. We can certainly get that taken care of at school. We've done that in the past too with these homework videos. But it's really beneficial if they can watch it at home the night before and then come to school the next day for it. So that's it for now. Thank you for your time. I look forward to working with you in the fall. I hope you all have a great summer, and I'll see you in September.